So today is going to be somewhat similar to what we were doing yesterday, but we're not going to be focusing so much on the emotions you're feeling towards yourself, the guilt, the anger, the frustration, the resentment. But what I really want to focus on today is perhaps you might have some memories, whether they are also, I don't want to get too far into this, but whether they're perceived memories, as in like you're just coming to this conclusion on your own, or it was a legit, let's say, disagreement with somebody in your immediate circle, of something that might be holding you back from your horses. So let's just say hypothetically that um, you asked your sister-in-law to come over to watch your kids so you could go for a ride, and then you end up getting in this big disagreement with your sister-in-law because she doesn't understand horses, and she thinks you're wasting your time, and she thinks you should be spending all of your time with your children, and she thinks and she thinks and she thinks. And let's just say it wasn't a good experience, and that really put um a bit of a standstill on you being able to ride. Maybe she was your really only source of childcare, and so now you feel like you can't ask for childcare anymore. She's judging you because of this, all of, whatever you felt in that moment. I want you to take some time today to write that down. You don't need to write a novel, okay? Because in your head, if this has happened to you, and maybe this isn't for everybody, okay, maybe you're still working mostly on it's just you, maybe you have a super amazing supportive circle, and you would have all the childcare support in the world, and you feel like this doesn't apply to you, then just maybe make sure you're spending a little bit of extra time on what we talked about yesterday. But if you do feel like finding childcare can be difficult, maybe you don't feel as supported in your time that you would like with your horses, and whether that is an extended family member, your spouse, maybe your children are older, and maybe they don't understand, and um, maybe their big emotions are making you feel guilty. Like if your kid is, like 6 8 years old, and they want nothing to do with horses, and they get really really upset when you want to go and be alone, go and do your own thing, but then you feel like because they're so sad and upset that that's holding you back. Write it down. Remember what we talked about yesterday, that when you start getting rid of all that mess, that yuckiness, that all the stuff that's kind of holding you back, when you take the few minutes, and I'm not talking about an hour here. I'm talking about 10 to 15 minutes. Who doesn't have that? You have it. If you don't think you do, believe me when I tell you, you have it. Take the time to write down exterior reasons, so not just your own beliefs about yourself, but whether your children have a really hard time with it. You don't feel like you can find a babysitter. Your spouse doesn't understand. Your in-laws don't understand. Your parents don't understand. Just write down, and this can be point form again. Or if you are someone who loves to journal about it. Really get down into the nitty gritty of maybe why you're not asking for help. Try to really be like, okay, so I've got these people that could help me, but why aren't I asking them for help? Why aren't I? Oh, right, because of that argument I had with so and so. Oh, right, because the one time I did do this, they kind of guilted me about it for the next 2 weeks about it, or whatever, right? You know exactly what I'm talking about when I bring this up. I'm sure you're already having memories coming to the surface, and you're like, yeah, that's why. So take the time today. This is going to be a very short video because, again, I don't want to take up all of your time. I want you to be taking these moments and really being able to use them to start figuring stuff out. So take those 10 to 15 minutes and write down those memories, long form, short form, point form, whatever feels good to you, to get them out of your brain, because pretty soon we're going to be start diving into some more of the fun stuff, the positive things, the growing stuff. And the more junk you can get out of your head right now so you can see it on paper, the more room you're going to have in your mind and in your heart to actually do the growing, to do the amazing stuff, to really start transforming your mind and your emotions and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so this is all that I'm asking for you to do today, and I will see you tomorrow.